no attention to the little man behind you. You are live.
Now? Mr. Minot? Okay. Hi, everybody. I want to welcome you to our live performance, piano performance here. So I hope you enjoyed the program. I'm sure you will. I guarantee you will. I would like. I have two of my favorite people here. Rob Watson, who is no, not him. Rob Watson, who is one of the professors of piano studies, and his student is Matthew Yang. So I'm going to allow my friend here to go ahead and introduce the pieces and give you a plug. There you go.
Thank you very much. Good morning, those of you who are here live and those of you who are there live. We're very happy to have you here today to listen to this performance by Matt Yang. Matt is a piano performance major and he's a jazzer. And those of you who went to his junior recital got an earful of both in spades. It was a really wonderful performance. Before he plays and before I talk about him, I just want to say a couple of things. You know what? I didn't send you a copy of the program, so it's not able to be live streamed. Sorry about that. So I'll tell you right now that Matt will be playing, those of you who are watching on the streaming, will be playing 4 works. The program's upside down. The first one is a prelude from the 24 Preludes by Dmitri Kabalevsky. The second one is a prelude from the first book of the Well-Tempered Clavier by Johann Sebastian Bach. The third piece is another prelude, but this is from a piece called Le Tombeau de Couperin, which translated means the burial or the tomb of Couperin. That's not what it means. It's an homage. It's an homage to Couperin, who was a French Baroque composer. And the last work is a piano study in mixed accents by Ruth Crawford Seeger, an American composer from the early part of the 20th century. So he's going to say it. You're going to say some things about the works themselves before you play?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So I just wanted to say a couple of things about music. It's about communication. Communication is something that we all engage in lots of different ways. For example, we have a pool contractor who's been at our house for a little over 6 months working on our project. And communication has broken down numerous times. All of you who have dealt with contractors know exactly what I mean. But there's another kind of communication that pianists engage in, and it has to do with the piano itself. The piano will communicate to us certain things. Each piano feels a little different. The keys feel a little different. This is an upright with plastic keys. It feels very different from a grand piano with ivory keys, or a concert grand piano with what Yamaha calls ivorite. So there's just the tactile sensation of the white keys, which are plastic, and the black keys, which are wood, ebony. And you feel something when you play. But there's also how they respond. How the keys respond is a communication from the instrument to you that you can then use in your performance. Again, uprights feel different because they have a slightly different action than a grand piano does. So there's certain things you can do on a grand piano that kind of you try to do on an upright and it doesn't quite work, but you do the best you can. But of course, music itself is communication, isn't it? But for pianists, it's without words. I co-teach a course called Piano Vocal Collaboration, in which we work with both pianists and singers to meld together the idea of music has words to it, and the way you play is supposed to encourage and support and sometimes preempt what the singer is saying. So there's that, but for pianists, we just generally don't have words. Well, we have words, but we don't share them with you. What we share with you is as a result of our thinking about the music itself and what we get from the music. It communicates to us something which then engenders something in here. So it's the process, the intellectual process, supporting the emotional content. I once had a student who was working on a piece by Schumann, and before the lesson started, she had shared with me about one of her students whose parents were getting a divorce, and this poor little girl, about 10, was just torn up over it. She was sure it was her fault. You know how children will take that kind of pain on themselves. So we talked about that, and then I had her play the piece, and she played all the notes and rhythm and dynamics right, but it didn't communicate anything. I said, so let me try it. So I played, fortunately it was a slow piece, so I could play it pretty well. I played it, and as I played, she started to tear up. She said, Dr. Watson, what are you doing? I said, well, you remember that story you were telling me about? I said, I was thinking about this young girl and putting myself into how does this piece relate to her emotional world and her emotional experience? And sort of the light bulb came on for the student, and it was, oh. So you were thinking about this emotional experience while you were playing the piano, and you were trying to use the notes of the piano and the music to somehow react to what you were thinking and feeling. I said, exactly. So when you hear a performance, you're listening for a lot of things, but you're waiting for that communication. And my hope is that Matt will communicate something to you, even though he's anxious about playing for you, that he can put that aside and just focus on what it is that he finds in each piece. Matt, are you going to play straight through all 4 pieces?
I can.
Okay. So you're welcome to applaud in between if you'd like. If you'd rather not break the spell, that's fine too. So without any further ado, I'll turn it over to Matt Yang. Please welcome Matt.
Thank you, Dr. Watson. Good morning/afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to see you all, and it's a pleasure to make music for you live and have your ears just be enveloped with sound, and I really hope that I'm able to do that with you today. So the pieces I've chosen are mostly all preludes. I consider them all preludes in some form. A prelude is a piece that prelude literally means to touch, or sorry, a toccata. And what a prelude does is it warms you up to the keyboard. It can act as an exercise, and it can also be an artistic piece. So many of these that I'll play for you today, if not all of them, contain this warming up of the sound and this sort of like easing you into the piece, at the same time creating this environment, this landscape for you to bask in. And from piece to piece, you'll notice that we jump from warm and welcoming to jagged and kind of turbulent, like this past year has seemingly been. And the idea is they all encompass the same form or the technical structure of a prelude, yet they're all so different. And my hope is you'll be able to hear those differences and really embrace what it means to, again, hear these things in the music. So yeah, thank you.
Well, young man, wait a minute. You've got to turn me on over. Okay. Are you there? Yeah, okay. So is this your last semester?
Second to last.
Second to last. We still get you for 2 more semesters then. All right, all right. Are you competing in an aria competition?
I might be doing the concerto competition, so
Okay.
we'll see. I started on one, so starting, maybe finishing.
Maybe
About
finishing.
2 months, maybe a little less, so.
Okay, okay, good. You want to share anything particular with the group here?
Oh, sorry. Thank you. I just want to say thank you so much for coming out here and supporting live music. It was a pleasure to play for you, and I really hope that at anything you got something out of, I guess, like the soundscapes I was attempting to create. And I appreciate you all, and it's a pleasure to see you guys again. So thank you.
Yeah, I get, it's really interesting when you have the students that come over and they play live for you and they sit there and go, I get to play for real live people, you know, so they're really excited about this.
Matt, you have a project coming up this semester or next semester?
That's right, the Sonatina project.
Well, no, I meant with Josiah Gross.
Oh, thank you. Oh, so one of my colleagues, he was a comp major in my piano studio. He is putting together a piano concerto for wind ensemble, and this is kind of like super top secret, so I'm kind of giving you the inside scoop. The concert in next May, we will be world premiering that, and I will be the pianist playing this with the Wind Symphony. So if you can, maybe mark your calendars. I don't know the exact date, but sometime in May. It's the usual. So, but yeah, I'd love to see you all there. Thank you.
And Rob will send me the announcement, right? So I can send it out to everyone? Okay, good. Anybody have questions for Matthew here?
Hello.
Is it difficult to get into the emotional mindset for 4 different musical periods in one performance?
Actually, yes, extremely, and especially because some of them are so disjunct and completely unrelated from each other. If anything, you're moving from antithesis to antithesis. Actually, in our last lesson before I came to play today, I played through the pieces, but we didn't really work on like anything technical. It was just, how do you feel about this, or what's the atmosphere you're trying to create? So all of today, leading up to this, I was just sitting and trying to find like a space, and then practicing moving from space to space. And yeah, it was kind of challenging, not gonna lie. But if you can get that, then it comes across, I think, and then you start to internalize. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Any other questions out there?
I read that you just won a big competition.
Not recently, but I did my first year here. It was like an international. It was an international one in China, and we were kind of like ambassadors representing the U.S. from like Orange County. So it was a really, really cool experience. But yeah, that was. Thank you very much. It was a great experience.
Any other questions out there? Another one. Okay.
This is a little bit off the wall. You played the Bach from sheet music and the others from the screen. Does that have any impact on how you play?
Oh yes. So normally I would put the Bach on my iPad as well. I see what you're saying. So in terms of like, we're talking sheet music versus like using digital, because a lot of the piano majors, like I go to the 3rd floor and I just see iPads everywhere. Like I don't see, hardcover, the good stuff anymore. I do believe it's convenient, but sometimes it feels like it's missing that the soul, and with these editions, there's, I like paper. I'm a paper guy, so. Mm-hmm.
Bigger notes, huh?
That's right. Actually, I transfer. I gave in. I do my notes on here, but for music though, that definitely printed.
Any other? Huh?
Usually it would have a little bit of history, his biography.
Say that one more time.
Usually in the past they've had a biography of him.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's
They're
probably my
missing
fault.
your biography.
No worries. I'll make sure to put it in next time. I'll be back, hopefully. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Of course. So I am my name is Matthew Yang, and I'm a 4th year piano performance major. I'm finishing up my undergrad this fall and next spring. Let's see, I'm involved with the Wind Symphony here at Cal State Fullerton, as well as the percussion ensemble, and I was affiliated with the jazz ensembles, and I commission works for them sometimes, so I compose as well. Yeah, I've been playing piano since I was 4 with my aunt in her little upright in the corner of the room, and then I started taking formal lessons when I was 5, so this is my 16th year, yes. But yeah, it's been quite a long journey, and I honestly don't remember the first half of it at all. But these recent years have been very fruitful. So, yeah.
One other announcement, do you have any?
I was going to ask you, you have parting words, but go ahead.
Thank you. On the back page, on the back of the sheet, it mentions that there is the pianist and performance auditions that are happening 2 weeks from today. And you're invited to attend. They will be held in the lobby of Meng, the grand lobby of Meng Hall, at 1 o'clock. There's no charge to attend, and you'll hear probably 10 or so students vying for the privilege of being an artistic ambassador to the community as a pianist and performance artist roster member. So you're welcome to come to that. They'll talk about the pieces before they play, and then they'll play for them. Again, thank you so much for your attention and your interest, and give Matt Yang another round of applause, please. Thank you.